Spider Queen. Now, this is KT's probably one of their most successful maps. It's the one that they debuted on, in fact, and they were able to perform reasonably well against. They were able to beat out Wukong Gaming on their debut match. Turns out that wasn't so much of an achievement, but it did happen, and as such, it's currently a 50% win rate, 6-6 for them.
All right, and for the first time, I think we're being deployed to the Tomb of the Spider Queen, one of my most favorite maps personally. Like, all the heroes that I love to play normally perform quite well on Tomb of the Spider Queen. First and foremost, of course, my baby boy Nazeebo. I'm rocking the Nazeebo shirt. Not sure if you guys could tell. And it just feels good. Like, seeing Nazeebo here would actually make my day.
Been a while.
It's been a while, even in China. Yeah. I think we saw it in the open division, didn't we?
Nazeebo? I think so. It was a standard spider build. We see almost everything in open division. Although actually, China still technically has the highest pick rate out of any region, I think, due to only 2 heroes over our 3 phases not being played.
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, when it comes to hero variety, China's definitely sitting at the top, if you count all the phases, all the different seasons in. But it's been kind of on the decline, right?
Oh, technically 3 now, because Kel'Thuzad.
Exactly.
Also, this is our last chance for Kel'Thuzad today.
I mean, there's a team called KT here. Hello.
KT, oh, the KT potential! It's here! It can happen! I forgot about that.
And to be to be honest, both KTs are really solid on Tomb of the Spider Queen because you need wave clear. Yeah, there's brawling and rotations going on all the time. So yeah.
How has this happened? They have Tass and Ariel. These have been like bad every game, and they got both. Whose idea was this?
But they don't have Vala, so that's at least one thing. And Lunara is banned.
Yeah, oh, she is.
No, Lunara is banned, so who are they going to have as a hyper carry?
Greymane, Cassia, there's plenty of options here.
Here's what I want to see instead. I want to see a Gul'dan or a KT. Good, then the Tassar would be kind of wasted, though, because he normally outshines or shines the most when there's an attacker.
Full attack build.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, he could still go... I agree. Like, he could still go for that, and... then you could even go for a solo warrior and pick something, or even pick like Sonya in the mix. Like you go warrior Sonya plus Gul'dan, and you're gonna have more than enough value in the Tassar.
Triple Angel game. Let's go.
Okay. I'm digging it. Unfortunately, not all the Angels are in the same team, but we're still gonna see all of them.
No. Well, all the good. I was about to say, yeah, we have like 1 good and 1 bad versus 1 good. So, well, we weren't even.
I like that ban, though.
That is a very suitable ban, considering that no supports were taken, but there's no Lunara to deal with. Uther would have been really good for Hot
So, this is kind of curious, though. I really think this is probably one of the most interesting drafting situations we've had in a long time, Tetra. Because look at that Malthael. Normally, if you're like, okay, so Malthael gets picked early, what do you have to counter him? Well, Tyrael, damn. Enemy team picked it away as well. Okay. Now, Lucio.
We already have 2 supports.
Yeah, we already have Tassadar and Ariel. Can we really go triple support and pull off an MVP Black? Like, this is so weird.
Only, and the other response would be, you deal with the Tormented Souls by picking Gorge. But Stitches is gone. There's only 1 hero left, right? And that's like a noob?
Yeah, like, Hot's Lady picking this Malthael in here. I mean, don't get me wrong, Malthael is always a good hero. But in this drafting situation, it's probably one of the smartest things they could have hoped to do. So, there's so many counters gone. The team comp that KT drafted so far does not allow another one, and they go for the Anub'arak instead. The Cocoon is now the only viable countermeasure left to really keep this Malthael in check. So now, Hotsley, what do they need to do? They need to pick someone that can shred those Cocoons like there was no tomorrow. So Li Ming is an option, or any sort of poison maybe, like a Nazeebo.
They already have Malthael, but Malthael's going to be in it. So Nazeebo, Li Ming, Tass is already taken, Zarya, Asmo, technically, if you really want to go down that path. I mean, this is the map for it. Sarazim's pretty quick.
Yeah, that's okay. Li Ming, let's do it. They go for double support. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Tychus would have also worked. There's a lot of options these days in terms of dealing with that. Even Kel'Thuzad would have actually worked. Just drop a drop a Q onto the cocoon, it gets burned down pretty quickly.
So Tetra, what is left for KT? They still need damage from ranged, I think. Not sure if they should go for another warrior and then have Tassadar as the only true ranged assassin in Archon form. That might be too much of a gamble. What about Tracer?
Tracer would be okay. There's a lot of dive potential against her, with like all of these heroes having like a point and click thing to just jump on her. But with the amount of protection she has, it could be good. A more burst damage would also be really good, because the whole point of their comp right now is cocoon into Sulfura Smash and then detonate. Right. So they need something that is more sustained damage. They can't afford to just go for burst. They need something that is burst and sustain E. So Valor would have been perfect, but she's gone. Greymane fits the role brilliantly.
Greymane is pretty solid wave clear if he goes for that cocktail build. In terms of wave clear, which is oftentimes a big criteria to whether a team draft is going to do well in Tomb of Spider Queen or not, who do you think has the better wave clear?
Both teams have really good wave clear. I don't think that's going to be what the game comes down to at this point, just due to the fact we have Rag, we have Greymane, right. Valor's good, Tass is good. Both teams have wave clear.
Yeah, even the Rhaegar with Lightning Bond can just wave clear those things like really fast. I think it's a balanced matchup, to be honest. I like the draft coming in from Hot Lady a little bit more, because I feel that Malthael was just the golden pick here. The Stitches being out of the way, so many supports that could have countered him no longer available, the Turiel being snatched away from their opponents as well. I really think that KT might struggle when it comes to keeping Malthael in check, and we all know what an unleashed Malthael can do.
We really do. Let's see if that cocoon is going to be enough. They do have, like we said, some ways to deal with it. Valor attacks fast. The lightning shield, lightning bomb is going to clear it quickly. Karazim speed. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, let's find out as we head into our final game of the day. It's Hot Lady versus KT. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this underway. Spawning on the left-hand side of the Tomb of the Spider Queen is Hot Lady with 365 on Karazim, again on Rhaegar, Feedby on Valor, Kid on Malthael, and Carlo on his legendary Tyrael.
Facing them is Kudos Top, also known as KT, with T-Die on the Tassadar, Ragnaros being played by Neptune, Gensho on his Ariel, C plays the Greymane, and last but not least, we have Butcher, not playing the Butcher, but going for the Beetle of Beetle. It is the Anub'arak.
Maximum confusion. Let's go. We do need we really do need more players with heroes for names in esports right now, just to annoy casters more.
If I were, I was gonna say, if I were a new and upcoming player and I had to think of a really fancy nickname and to really please the masses, I would probably call myself Gaslord or Murky.
I like that. It's a clever idea. But now, or just call yourself KT. Be even more annoying. Just more KTs.
Yeah.
Alright, I just got a lag spike, so I'm going to refresh quickly.
Just call yourself Kel Thas. You know, Kel, like in Kel'Thuzad, and then Thas.
K-E-L.
Yeah, exactly. Maximum confusion achieved.
Or Kale Thuzad.
Kale Thuzad, yes, baby.
Could be the other way around. Alright, I'm at 7, that's close enough. So,
or just call yourself Varian and get a direct sponsorship by Kendrick Swish.
Well, you heard it here first. Kendrick Swish going to sponsor any pro player who really names themselves to Varian.
There we go.
Heard it on Twitch. Must be real. And we do see Hot Lady and KT just rotating against each other. No one hyper aggressive at the moment. It is an interesting lane setup. It's the 2-1-2 for pretty much both teams if you really count Anub'arak. Actually, no, only one hero in top lane for KT, only the Ragnaros solo defending, while there's a little bit of rotations. These lanes are weird. They're very, very dynamic as opposed to static.
We see a ping-pong team fight going on, constant back and forth, left and right between those teams. They're not willing to let go. And rotation-wise, though, I think Hot Lady have been doing the better job here. They are having like a 2-3 split without taking too much damage on those structures. And as such, they you know, they put a little bit of pressure on that Ragnaros, who can get out of control if left all by himself. Because despite the countless nerf that he has received in the past, Ragnaros is still one of the better wave clears and the better solo laners. Yeah. And there's not a lot of heroes that can best him.
Rag has 2 buttons that will make him viable, basically.
Oh my god, that's
shield by Carlos. Wow. Topic there. Ink actually tried to cocktail him as well, but was unable to get the finishing blow. But Ragnaros has 2 buttons that will just make him viable forever, and that's R and D. And that's basically it. No matter what, until both of them get nerfed really, really hard, he will continue to be at least minorly viable.
Exactly. Now, in the meantime, we see Carlo trying to stall out and delay the payment process of KT. Like, delaying payments and stopping people from turning in their gems actually is very important in general. In the meantime, Hero, almost called them Hero League. Hot's Lady. When I see that HL. Team Hero League. No, but in the meantime, 365 was doing the mercenary camp at the bottom. Very underestimated as well. Like, those siege giants can cause so much confusion and distraction, allowing you to turn in the top lane. That's exactly what they're doing right now. Feetby only gets 4 gems, but hey, that's better than nothing, right?
Better than nothing. More just get those gems in. If there's nothing else you can be doing, like if you could be harassing your opponent, you can harass your opponent, but there's nothing else you really want to be doing, just turn in.
Surprise!
Here we have a raid. Ink actually leads the raid.
Goodness.
Down goes Rhaegar. Camp is stolen. Carlo.
The gems, Carlo! Oh my goodness.
He got it. There we go. So Bruiser Camp now going to be sapping some of that ammo and doing some damage into the middle lane. And you see a second attempt to clear out that camp, and if Malthael was out of position, they would have killed him as well, but he was able to play far enough back to keep himself safe. So, nicely done. Interesting extra stuff here, talent-wise. Evasive shielding for Tassadar. Not going for any leeching here. He just wants a shield that can work for everyone, and in this case, he thinks the movement speed is going to be a little bit more effective, I guess, in terms of escaping Karazim. It's going to work out quite nicely.
Yeah, escaping Malthael too.
Yeah, and a noob is going to be just extra tanky. Regen Master, and now he has a bit of barbs for maximum annoyance on that turn-in.
That makes a lot of sense. Like, if he had gone for the Nerubian armor, Nerubian skin, then of course it would have been nice against mages, but against what Hot's Lady has, not so much, because let's face it, Karazim's damage, mostly physical. Malthael's damage, well, doesn't care about spell armor anyway. And so the only one that's left is really Turiel and Vala, and those are not known to be the biggest of mage nukers. So, despite losing that mercenary camp, and despite KT getting a couple of gems in, they're still the ones who are suffering from that first turn because it's on the side of Hot's Lady. Now they just need to avoid dying. Nice juke by Kid. Holy macaroni.
So many teleports. It's so confusing as Butcher is getting focused now. Percentage damage and a kill. Genshuo, he's really missing that cooldown reduction that he used to get at level 7, but that is no longer a talent he can get. As we see KT moving back for the defense. And
now with the Numerag being taken out for another 5 seconds, they don't have a frontline anymore. Ragnaros, of course, he could use that multi-core, but he's needed on several lanes at the same time. He needs to take care of mid, top, and bottom ideally, but there's only so much one Fire Lord can do. So as a result, that Numerag death was very crippling and actually causes Hot's Lady to gain a lot of momentum.
Yeah, and with top lane, like you said, to be fair, it's not got a huge amount of value so far, actually. You got the front wall and they got a fountain. The fort's alive, and they're finally rotated to deal with it. They're a bit slow, though. They could have easily got up here and prevented a lot of that damage the fort's already taken. But they will clear this up, and they will put a little bit of pressure onto Feedby. Feedby thinking about turning around, then realized Genshuo was here as well, and changed his mind.
Exactly. And now for Hot's Lady, it's of the utmost importance to basically control those turn-in points. If KT gets a turn-in themselves, they're probably going to catch up, if not overtake them in overall XP. And they're already shifting towards that bottom turn-in location. There's only Malthael right now. Turiel now joining the fray as well, his angel buddy at his side. And if Hot's Lady can stall this process of paying out long enough, they're going to have level 10, and then they can really turn on the heat. Right now, it's just for them to be a little bit passive, I think. Because the moment they go for an all-in fight, even if it's 4 versus 5, they risk that one person from KT could sneak into the other side of the map and get that turn-in.
Yeah, and that's what they're trying to do. They have 41 gems, like you said. Yeah. They would love to be able to get a turn in here. However, the longer they stay around here, the more annoying Butcher is being. However, this is the ideal scenario for Hot's Lady. They're still soaking XP with these delays, so they're going to hit level 10 first, and that's going to buy them a lot of time.
They let it go through.
Oh, sneaky! I think it was Rag who snuck it in the top lane. Rhaegar wasn't able to delay him again. But level 10 is available, so KT are going to be pushing in against a heroic team.
So how much value can Kudos Top get from this turn-in? There's always two sides of the medal, right? The first one is, well, we're not level 10, so damn it, we can't really push, because we might risk a wipe. On the other hand, even if they get a couple of towers only from those web weavers, it's going to be enough XP to catch, or to make them catch up onto 10 a little bit quicker. So there's a plus side and a negative side on it. Which one is going to come to fruition, we're going to see right now.
Let us find out indeed. That web weaver kind of being ignored as they were trying to take that with the KT. Oh, killed by a minion. And that's what let the palm proc there as 365. Backs up, back behind the structures, eats a cocktail. But this web weaver remains healthy. Top's already been cleared though. Mid is still being cleared, so they're going to get a fort. This will actually be the first fort of the game. So KT, oh, it's actually going to be close.
If they get that fort, oh, the cocktail,
it's so low. Ganoob comes in. They want it so much.
Molten core.
More damage. They finally get that fort. They have level 10. Are they going to try and make something out of this? No, they just want more towers, more XP.
Exactly. I like it. I think Hot Lady was too fast to retreat already, so the Molten Core probably wouldn't have given them that much value. But that was a beautiful cocktail explosion against the Malthael. I bet he didn't even see that one coming, because I certainly didn't. So yeah, good kill on the right target. Palm was on cooldown. Ancestral would have no chance to actually save him because the wind-up time is too long. So, beautiful comeback by KT.
Yep, they've managed to attain themselves a small lead and enough gems for very nearly a second turn-in. Now enough for a second turn-in, but bar one, if my maths is correct, which it almost certainly isn't.
I mean,
yeah, bar one. They need one more gem if they want to have another turn-in. Maths did it, as we do see KT looking around for that turn-in opportunity. Want to try and get near. There's also a bruiser camp to deal with, though, so they're having a lot of trouble with that. Geshu actually takes a lot of damage from it. He actually tanks a couple shots. Carlo eats all of that bed of barbs, being, once again, maximum annoyance, as Neptune is forced away.
It's so cool to see Tetra as well, that whenever we see a Chinese Teriel in the game, we see the level 7 Angel's Grace. I don't see that talent anywhere else, at least not that often, as in China. And the more I see it, though, the more value I see from it. Because if you think about it, dropping the Eldrin's Might somewhere and having increased movement speed allows you to get to the location where you want to drop the Sanctification more quickly. So it's just cool to see how Teriel keeps shifting around, being super fast, super quick. And
I like it. I personally think there's more value in the Smite talent on the same level.
Okay.
The extra movement speed for... Oh, no, wait, that's the level before.
No, I was going to say, yeah. You can have Reciprocate, Zero Tree, or Follow Through.
Yeah, whereas on level 4, it's Swift Retribution or Hereditary Forging. Yeah, that has more value. This makes more sense.
Right, there we go. Meantime, no team is really committing too hard to one of those fights. And it's so cool to see how this Cocoon by Nubrak doesn't get used at all, unless there's the Tormented Souls from Malthael. Normally you see Nubrax catching people isolatedly, and then the rest of the team is going to follow up on that Cocoon target. But in this game, that hasn't been a factor at all. And now the ladies were successful, turning in those gems, getting more web viewers. And only Karzim here in the bottom really to shove this wave. Very important, guys. If you have waves relatively far in your own half of the map, then the web viewers are going to take so much damage just by activating their abilities, which actually drain health for themselves. And it's not going to achieve a whole lot. So before turning in, you want to make sure that there's a lot of pushing going on naturally in the first place.
Yeah, the web weavers have a timed life. It ticks down very through a couple abilities in the game. So you can see this one cleared up very quickly, and Neptune's still a little bit of duration on that Molten Core. He can drop a couple siege shots onto top. Top will die. Bot is still undefended. Now a situation of, can KT maybe capitalize on this and get themselves a kill? Tormented Souls and Cocoon. And he's out. But once again, just very patient by KT, just immediately denying any kind of turnaround, any kind of fight. And Bard is still undefended, but Rag's on the way. He's going to be able to drop a little bit of damage onto that.
But Huts Lady, in a whole, or as a whole, is a lot more quick. Is a lot quicker when it comes to rotating here. Yeah. They still have a web weaver at their side. All the forts except the middle one are now gone, and slowly but surely KT is starting to lose a couple of structures they shouldn't give up that easily. Now Butcher's trying to go for a flank here, only finds Karzim, not the target to go for. In fact, it's really hard to nail anyone down. Butcher going in for a very, very eager and zealous engage.
Sank is down, Butcher gets Aegis, and a beautiful Sulfuris is good. Palm and Ancestral on the same target, completely whiffed as Neptune does get taken down. It's 1-for-1, Tyrael for Neptune, as we do see the chase onto Feed B trying to take him down. A noob drops the cocoon, and no Tormented Souls to counter this. Can they follow up on it? It's again inside the stun onto a noob, preventing the follow-up damage. An attempt by Greymane to get the blow-up, but not enough. And looks like this is probably going to be the end of this as KT back up. Tormented Souls is getting close to coming off cooldown, so it's worth the retreat.
Every single cocktail that Seeing throws at their opponents is dealing massive amounts of damage. I'm not sure if you saw the last one, but I think it hit 4 people at the same time, and they really can't deal with all that spread out damage. Like, Greymane is doing so much work. Combine that with, of course, the living meteors from Ragnaros and the permanent threat of a Sulfuris Smash. I really think that KT nails those fights like a champ. Like, they're getting so much more value, and of course the miss synergy in Hot's Lady with that Palm and Ancestral Healing landing at the same time, the same target. That was definitely something they should not repeat here, Tetcher. Hot's Lady, they're starting to crumble under the pressure a little bit, don't you think?
They're definitely having issues. They need to do something about this, as we see KT pushing in with their own web weavers. 16 is approaching for them. If they get a couple more structures here, there's a good chance they could try and keep going here and attempt to keep.
Yeah, they literally keep going.
Kendrick, as we do see them attempting to get these towers on the front. Shouldn't have too much trouble with this. First one goes down, second one focused, and it gets deleted very quickly. Somehow top 4 has survived with the grace of Tyrael.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, they're dealing so much damage onto the structures of Hot's Lady. The web weaver is still standing strong, standing tall here. Now, Carlo trying to go with a cheeky flank, but I think he really just wants to buy a couple of precious seconds to put away some pressure from the middle lane. Relieve the pressure a little bit. Malthael, Kid can't really get a grip. He can't really get an angle here in those team fights. There's no CC to really slow people down with his Tormented Souls. And of course, the Cocoon is this ever-present counter tool that he so desperately tries to avoid.
Yeah. They basically need the perfect combo of Tormented Souls and Sank, and somehow keep the entirety of KT on that Sank. That's the scenario they found themselves in, and it's not one they're likely going to be able to do.
Yeah, they almost got enough gems for another pain. They need 2 more to get those final 5 things. Oh, nice.
Oh, Kid. Bye. Not bye, Kid. Nicely done. The pure smash was not required there, but there's no kill quite like overkill, Kendrick, as the Cocoon is dropped. Can they follow it up with another kill? No, they can't.
The Impale missed,
another save. 365. In danger. Dashes to his allies. He's out.
But so much healing done as well by Auriel, who's basically never pressured at all. And if you can keep that Auriel under control, Genjo is just going to keep everyone alive. I want them to do the boss, actually. I think they could actually show one person in the middle, or just pretending to pay, and then they could have done the boss maybe. Because everyone on the side of Hot's Lady, they had to go back. They were so low on HP. But of course, going boss is always a risky thing. The throw pit here on Tomb of the Spider Queen is a real danger. So they go the safe route. Can't really hate that either. And with the next set of Wave Weavers, they're trying to get the first keep of the game.
They are going to attempt to. They've already put some pressure onto mid, so they're going to potentially ignore mid and try bot instead. Draw their enemies away. Oh no, looks like they do want to. Yeah, they're deciding mid or bot.
Thirsty
Pass actually
Tetcher.
activated Oracle there, and then moved away, so he couldn't see anything.
There's no way they're going to fall for that Ragnaros bait, right? I was going to say, like a one
nearly fell for
lonely Ragnaros, no way.
Where could my team be? Yeah. I'm just a lonely Ragnaros. Also, in case you haven't noticed, ability power crown for Auriel. Add that to the cocktails. We have delicious cocktails.
Delicious cocktails and even more delicious hammers raining from the sky with those Sulfuris smashes. So there's going to be a lot of goodness coming in here. I mean, Greymane is not the traditional Auriel battery, but so far with the amount of cocktails landed by Seeing, it works out like a charm.
Rag is in multiple core, he's dropping some siege damage, helped them grab at that keep, which is, as we said, the first keep of the game. KT are thinking about going top. Looks like they've changed their mind. Web Weave's a little bit too low, so instead they're just going to put some pressure on bots while top is cleared. Probably won't go all in on a keep, but they could easily gain control of this area. They actually have Is that a 7 or a 2? That's a 2. Okay. So yeah, they don't have enough for another turn in.
And I love this call by KT. They sent Greymane to the bottom lane. They tried to get those mercenaries. And then with the mercenary pressure in the bottom lane, they can use this diversion. They can use this confusion to once again rotate top, go on the opposite side of the map, and go for the boss. And I think Hostly, they realized this. They saw the mercenary camp to go down, and they realized, okay, they are going to the boss if we don't do it. We need to take this risk. We're so far behind anyway. Let's go. This is going to be so clutch.
Greymane, hurry up! They need to do something. So furious. Oh, okay. Well, okay. They just let it go.
They let us down, Tetra. The Chinese aggression was not deployed here. Instead, we saw Chinese patience.
Thanks. Dropped though. Sulfurous on top of the Sang, killing off Tyrael beautifully. Cocoon on the Malthael. Rip Tormented Souls. And potentially rip Malthael as the lightning comes out trying to finish him off. But they can't chase him down. But that's still a 1-for-0. The boss, however, is pushing their keep. So that should be dealt with. Guys, anyone? Okay, fine. There we go. Greymane. He's good.
Alright, that was a very premature Sank, I think, but also, ain't nobody got time to take the boss when you have your own raid boss in your team. The Ragnaros empowered, as you said, by the 16 talent from Ariel, the ability power increase. That Sulfur Smash hit like a monster truck, and it annihilated Tyrael in a split second. Beautifully done by KT.
It's nice knowing where the enemy's going to be, because if they have Sack, they're likely going to stay at it until it expires. So you just drop your Sulfurous as it expires, and that's exactly what we saw. Nice execution by Ragnaros, who has just picked up his team another mercenary camp.
Really cool. Now Tassadar also dropping those storms thanks to the increased range on his level 7 talent. It's so cool with Tassadar's Oracle to just permanently have vision on the enemy team, disrupt them from paying gems or coins or whatever battleground you're currently at. You can also interrupt tributes, by the way. So really sweet, but now double mercenaries plus catapults in the middle. That is a mighty force that Hot's Lady needs to defend against. And KT with that level 20 advantage, I think they could try to go for the kill. Twilight Archon is available. Rewind on Nubarak, very good. Only Ragnaros is going to stick to his
heroic difficulty.
Yes.
And a full meteor, almost duration there onto Kid. But yeah, heroic difficulty onto that empty. I see an empty lot there that might be available to for KT to set up. So there's a good potential for them to try and end the game if they're able to get a couple kills.
So, Tetra, do you agree with the kind of hesitant playstyle that KT is showing right now? I mean, they're kind of setting up a trap, but don't you think they should be a little bit more aggressive?
I actually like how they're playing at the moment. With their composition, it's very much if anyone from Hot Lady oversteps, they just win the game. It's as simple as that.
Right.
So I'm really happy with the fact that they're not putting themselves in a situation to just straight lose the game with a mistake. They're putting themselves in a situation where if Hot Lady make a mistake, they'll lose the game, and KT will win with time.
Hey, in Region Master value, only now was Butcher able to finalize the quest. But hey, just in time, right? Because there's going to be a big team fight relatively soon.
So it's all good for the entire time. Butcher, the holy ground of Butcher. Power charge is forced out. The nice shield of hope. Rewind.
Heroic difficulty.
Rag. Heroic difficulty. Damage is being dropped. Sulfurous Kid dodges it. And he is able to survive even through the storms. It's just a huge amount of damage. But Karazim did go down. He was not able to dodge the apocalypse as it came. Not even the ability, the apocalypse. This is an actual apocalypse, as we do see KT crushing through this. Looks like they want to try and end the game. Rag's not even with them. He finally pops out of that multi-core. He's going to come down to try and help. Carlo is the target here.
Sank is
dropped. The turnaround attempt, 4v5. Ancestral onto Tyrael as he holy ground, trying to trap someone and prevent them from pushing it any further.
Twilight Archon.
Damage. Twilight Archon damage so high. Here comes Kid. He hits Tormented Souls and dies. So the core is going down. This looks like it's going to be it, Kendrick. That is going to be GG. And these teams will go 1-1, assuming they don't die, but they're sort of
say what's going on in the top lane there. Okay, so the Crystal Ages was good. Tassadar unfortunately not able to be saved here, but as it is, a 1-1 tie after a strong comeback by KT. The Ragnaros continues to be on a roll and squash insects left and right. Undefeated today. We saw him twice in a row. Not twice in a row, but twice in different series. And every single time he delivered, Tetra. Ragnaros is back, baby.
He is back. He's never really left China. It's just it's very much a situational pick, and it has shown. However, This win is a bigger win for KT than for Hot Lady, because once again, KT move up to a solid 10 points. Hot Lady are on 8, meaning that now KT, even if both these teams lose all their matches, KT are in a much safer position. And Hot Lady, they now need to find a win, a 2-0 versus either SOA or BTG.
Exactly. So the problem here, while the tie itself might not be a big problem, what's the real problem for Hot Lady is that they now have one less chance to really make that strong jump towards the middle field or even the upper echelons of the standings, right? So they only have 2 games left. 2 games left to overtake KT and maybe avoid the demotion games in HGC China. So as such, KT taking the chance here, not falling short, not disappointing,